Recently I reviewed the Reximex Lyra and I really liked it. Well, how about this? Its shorter sibling, Kevin. Hello and welcome to AAR On Air. This week is a look at the Lyra-K from Reximex. Actually, the K stands for carbine with a K rather than Kevin. But let's take a look at this shorter sibling, shall we? A few stats then first. It is a short rifle rather than a bullpup, which I do quite like, and unsilenced, it has an overall length of 885mm or 35 inches. I will straight away tell you it benefits from a silencer. Not that it's massively loud, but it is certainly loud enough to prevent you getting a second shot off if using it for pest control, or it will make enough noise to get the attention of some clipboard wielding neighbour who has been waiting for the opportunity to spoil everyone and anyone's enjoyment. So naturally, with a silencer fitted, it will add to the overall length, but it is still quite short. The weight then, it tips the scales unscoped and unsilenced at around 2.9 kilograms or 6 pounds 6 ounces, and it doesn't feel heavy at all. And most importantly, because it's short, it carries any weight nice and close into the body, which gives it a lot of stability. Let's start out at the front on the walk around then, shall we? It has a shorter length barrel at just 400mm, or just under 400mm, with a 1/2 inch UNF thread on the end to allow fitment of most standard fit silencers. This is actually a slight extension to stabilise the shroud that comes as standard, and I would probably be fairer if I called it a barrel cover rather than a shroud as such, which sort of implies it aids the sound deadening of this carbine, which it doesn't. Below this is a 250cc bottle that is inflatable to 250 bar, which combined is going to get you comfortably into 3 figures on the top trump shot count. The tank morphs itself into the Turkish walnut stock. I often refer to the stocks on the Reximex rifles as the Turkish lottery, because it really is a delight to open the boxes on these things and see some of the most beautiful finishes of the wood on these rifles. The finish on these stocks is really very good, no sharp or rough edges, nicely designed, shaped and stippled. Yes, if I was being super critical, then I could spend another few minutes on them to just get them to that perfectly rounded edge. But this isn't some 2 to 3 times the price Manelli stock. This is more a hand-finished walnut. That is a huge bonus at this price, because you would normally only get a polymer stock in this kind of price bracket. And it is a real treat to find a more budget end rifle or carbine in such nice wood. The forestock is quite short and stubby in design and quite deep. But this is to keep enough timber around the front of the bottle to give it strength and to give it a nice recess to house the air gauge and the Foster fitting male fill adapter that simply needs a standard female fitting to fill the gun, and one is actually supplied in the box if it's not already on your pump, diver's tank or compressor. So no filler probe to lose. Bonus. It has swivel studs fitted front and rear to fit a bipod, strap or the like, and also a recessed thread to use on the front if you prefer, and there is a Weaver adapter rail supplied to fit to it. Up top is also a Weaver Picatinny rail for mounting your choice of scope, which makes the choice of mounts better. This is a side lever action, and it must be said it is smooth. Really smooth. Not how I expected from a more budget end gun. Well done, Reximex. This is a 177 caliber, and it takes either a single shot tray provided in a box or a 14-round magazine, of which there are 2 of those supplied with the gun. Loading these is really very easy and is simply a case of turning the clear front in a clockwise direction, as is shown by the arrow, all the way around until it stops. Then put your finger on the back, drop your first pellet in, the fingers to prevent it going all the way through, then start and turn anti-clockwise, dropping a pellet in each and every time until you're all loaded up. That's all 14. Once you're then done, to load it into the breech, simply pull back on the side lever and you push in the round end first, all the way to the end, then push forward and you're loaded and ready to go. One of the nice features of this is the lock open after last shot to let you know when you're all done. Now there is a power knob on the side which will turn it down from its maximum sub 12 foot-pounds should you wish. Again, I very rarely see anyone actually doing this, but it would help perhaps in close barn situations and will ultimately save you a little air, giving you a potentially higher shot count if that's your thing. Talking about power, time to get this over the chronograph to see what it is producing at the max power level. Now, using some pretty standard 8.44 grain pellets, it saw 795 feet per second, which is 11.85 foot-pounds or 16.07 joules. Not bad at all, and more than enough. Let's try it with some heavier 10.34 grain, shall we? Just for laughs and giggles, as it were. Well, with those on board, it produced 720 feet per second, which is 11.91 foot-pounds or 16.15 joules. Again, nothing wrong with those figures at all. The trigger on this is a 2-stage trigger with a nice match-type curved blade that is adjustable should you wish. It was set pretty nicely straight out of the box, and any lighter in a pest control environment would prove, to my mind, to be too light. Time really to get this dressed up and loaded up for testing out on the range. At this point, it's probably worth letting you know this is one of the full kit setups from Vector Air and comes with this 3 to 12 by 40 C4 vector scope, silencer, Apollo bag, some targets, pellets, etc, etc. Pretty much everything you will need to get you out there and shooting, other than just some air. So, out at 40 meters in the full setup. It's still very light, and I should point out this whole thing was done in a complete rush, and certainly not all staged and practiced. Straight out of the box and go for it. Here's a real rushed job. I didn't take the label off it. I've got here the new Lyra-K, K for carbine, and it is, at first glance, a nice piece of kit. It's kitted, and when I say kit, this is actually the kit form that Vector Air I've put together. So it comes with silencer, scope, bag, pellets, blah de blah de blah, which is good provided you can hit a barn door with it, as it were. So now this is basically just a carbine, a shortened version with a bottle rather than a tube of the existing Lyra. Now I like the Lyra, and I think the Lyra is much underloved, as it were, and for no reason at all. It's quite long, I've heard people say, so they've actually brought out a short version, which is short. Now, it's a bit longer because I've put a silencer on it, and the silencer that they provide, that Vector Air provide in their kit, is a blooming good one, and it makes it really, quiet, nothing in it. There's more noise coming from the hammer at the back than there is out the front. So it's working, and it's working really well. And we have, because I've only just got hold of this literally an hour or so ago, what I have done, and the camera angles are different, you've probably noticed, because the sun is coming in, and if I put the cameras where I normally put them, you've just got full glare back from the sun. So it's early evening and I'm trying to get this done. I have zeroed it in and I've taken some shots already. Now I don't think that's bad. I'll show you those underneath because I was just playing about with those, but that was the group that I've just put together. Now it's no good me showing you that because half of you won't believe me, so I'm going to try and replicate it, which is always a bad thing because trying to get it to do it again, I don't know, it might be better, it might be worse, but let's give it a go. And so far I must admit to being really impressed with this. Excuse me. And as I say, you do get 2 magazines with it. This is only my second time of shooting this. I pulled the trigger a little soon. I put you on the other mic, you'll probably be able to hear. There is a breeze stroke wind. I know some HFT shooters have feathers on the end. I've got the label. No edge on me. That was me. The trigger's actually quite nice on this as well, 2-stage. It feels like it's got probably 1.5 pounds. Pull weight. It's a 14-round magazine. Lock open after last shot. Let's go and have a look, shall we? I don't think anybody's going to get too upset about that. It's only the second magazine really that I've put through this. The first magazine was part zeroing and then the rest emptied just into the target, and it did very similar. Settling down, having a calm day, getting used to the gun, you're going to be putting pellet on pellet. Now, I really don't think there is anything wrong with that at 40 meters. This is a package gun, and I think that is a nice package. It's nice to shoot. It's not overly heavy. Nice gun, nice gun. And there's only a 3 to 12 scope on there, but it is focusable. It's not the most expensive scope, but it's doing a damn good job. The whole package, pretty good if you ask me. And just before we go back to the studio, I'm just going to have a little bit of a play. Right then, 68 cal paintballs at 40 meters on wooden golf tees. I think the only thing to say is back to the studio. Now, I was pretty pleased with those results from a straight out of the box first time shooting it situation. It is comfortable and easy to settle down with. You kind of know from the first few shots you have something that is, well, pretty capable really. What is all this lot going to cost you? Well, probably less than you think. The full kit will give you change out of £500. Yes, it's £495 UK all in, the whole lot. To my mind, that represents really good value from a walnut stocked, scoped, silenced, bagged, and all those magazines, single shot tray, and of course, targets, pellets, and the lot. And don't forget that level of accuracy and more than enough power for target work or pest control. Now, I've enjoyed this sub £500 package and can see this as a good way of many a starter getting into the sport without breaking the bank. And if you want, of course, you can opt for a 2.2 caliber version if you prefer. I like it. Hopefully you have enjoyed this review. If so, please give us the old thumbs up, subscribe, feel free to share and hit the alarm notification bell to know when new reviews are coming out. Now, this next bit is pretty important. You may well need to get yourself over to the AAR On Air website, not only for the usual stuff, but the competitions that run from time to time may well be moving to the website and may not be appearing on YouTube in the near future, meaning the AAR website members get exclusive access to these competitions. So you may wish to get over there and register to be included. A big thank you to Vector Air for their help and, of course, coming up with a package for you guys to help people get a really good, affordable kit. Well done, guys. That's pretty much it for this week. It just needs me to say thank you, stay safe and shoot safe. And hopefully I'll see you all next time. Bye for now. It's really light. Yeah.